Hey, what's up, everybody? NHL All-Star Game down in Florida was a flop as usual. What do you expect? I mean, listen, guys play a heavy schedule, 82-game season. They compete hard every night. Last thing they want to do is go to an All-Star Game and really put out. A lot of people upset with the weekend. I think the skills competition, it can be fun, hottest shot, fastest skater, all that, but I don't know if it's the NHL and or ESPN, but boy, it was confusing, right? They start one skills competition, say the hottest shot, and then all of a sudden, and it wasn't finished. They started another one. It was confusing and, again, a joke. Listen, I understand, fans love to go down to this and try and get close to their favorite player and maybe get an autograph, get a picture. That's awesome. But if you're looking for hockey, the way the game should be played, you're not going to get it there. There's no question. And again, it would be nice to see the West against the East, something competitive, a little bit competitive, try and find some incentive for these players to kind of half-ass try. I don't think, honestly, I don't think it can ever be done. Now, I think one thing they should consider is to maybe go back to the fantasy draft, because I thought the fantasy draft was fun, but I don't believe the NHL wants to do that because, listen, we're all about feelings now. And remember when Phil Kessel was picked last and, everybody felt bad for Phil and nobody wanted Phil on their team. He got picked last. And I think the league viewed that as, something hurtful. But I thought it was fun. It certainly showed some of the personality of some of the players. They get out there. It seemed like they were having fun. It was a fun thing for them. And the fan base. So it allows a fan base to see these guys kind of interact, be loose, not always be so serious. So, listen, I don't think there's anything you can do when you try and come up with gimmicks and try and make it more interesting and try and draw people in with different stuff. You're in trouble. And I think they've tried almost everything. And listen, the NHL isn't the only league who has to deal with this. We know the Pro Bowl, football, and Major League Baseball All-Star Game, the Home Run Derby. You got the NBA with three-pointers and the dunk contest. So that's great for the fans and stuff. But when the game itself, it's never going to be a game the way the game was supposed to be played. So I don't know what you can do. Again, for my 2 cents, I'd say, go back to that fantasy draft and try and, say the winning team gets home ice advantage, their conference, when it comes to the Stanley Cup Finals. So they've tried a lot of things, and when you have to come up with gimmicks to try and sell something all the time, it's going to be certainly difficult, and it probably just isn't going to work. As far as ESPN, here they come back on the fold, got hockey on, but viewership is down 22% in the U.S. And certainly the All-Star Game, they bring in PK, all these personalities, and try and spice it up, make it more interesting. But really, I don't think it worked. And as far as PK, I know he tried to come out with his personality and all that, and he was good. But come on, the Happy Gilmore thing with David Pastrnak, one of the best players in the world, certainly one of the best players in the league, no question. And they Happy Gilmore him. And I know he's a funny guy and he likes to have fun, but it was more like a clown show. Have him out there with the pot of hockey stick, just doesn't work. So, well, can't wait to see what happens next year, because everybody talked about Florida, the game in Florida. It's not in a hockey climate. Well, next year it's in Toronto. Let's see what happens in Toronto. If the league has all their little gimmicks going, It's just not going to work with the Canadian people. That's for sure. The Canadian fans. It's going to be funny to see what happens next year in Toronto. God, go back to the fantasy draft, have a game, like I said, half-ass game, if you will, 5-on-5, just whatever, because every time you're changing it and trying this and trying that, it just seems like it gets worse and worse every year. So, again, NHL isn't alone in this, but that's my uppercut for this week. Check out the Raw Knuckles podcast, and please subscribe, follow, and or like.